Why, hello, my dearest family. My name is Adam Livingston, and I am your #1 source for Bitcoin and Bitcoin Treasury Company analysis. We have a very exciting special for you today, but remember, this is not financial advice. This is financial entertainment. We are living through the greatest wealth transfer in human history, and I am here to lead you every step of the way. So please, in order to support my work of bringing you this cutting-edge info, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, and leave a comment with what you'd like me to cover next. All right, folks, welcome to the last sane financial product on Earth. You've got hedge funds shorting air, governments printing fiat like it's toilet paper, and your boomer parents are still buying bonds with 3% yield because Jim Cramer told them to. From the geniuses at Bitwise, there's one ETF, yes, just one, that lets you front-run every dumb corporate treasury before their CFO gets orange-pilled in a Marriott conference room. It's called OWNB because you're going to own Bitcoin exposure. This ETF is so elegant, so psychotically efficient that it makes gold bugs cry and real estate agents drink boxed wine straight from the nozzle. OWNB buys every public company that holds over 1,000 Bitcoin. Not because they're cool, not because they're smart, but because they've tasted blood. And they know fiat is dying. In one trade, you don't just buy equity, you buy revenge on every pension manager who still thinks the 60-40 portfolio is real. It's the S&P 500 of Bitcoin psychos. It's the Noah's Ark of sane capital allocators. It's OWNB, baby, and it's not here to make friends. It's here to burn the fiat system to the ground, one SEC filing at a time. Because apparently some people think holding Bitcoin through Coinbase and praying to Cathie Wood is a strategy. It's not. That's like keeping gold bars in your sock drawer during the French Revolution. Cute, but you're getting guillotined. What OWNB does, and try to keep up, Gary, is capture a hybrid return stream. You get the raw asymmetry of Bitcoin plus the cash flow degeneracy of public companies who figured out that holding dollars is a slow suicide. These are corporate vessels of time preference inversion. They've swapped rotting fiat for the hardest assets in the known universe and then securitized it. You're buying leverage on the collective realization that fiat is a Ponzi run by fiat-addled central planners with sociology degrees. You're not just buying equity, you're buying leverage on the collective realization that fiat is a Ponzi run by drug-addled central planners with sociology degrees. And here's the alpha. These companies aren't just buying BTC, they're legitimizing it through GAAP, FASB, and Wall Street liquidity rails. That means dividends, buybacks, equity calls, and the glorious chaos of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Meanwhile, your uncle is still hoarding I-bonds like it's 1992 and thinks CPI is under control. Spoiler alert, his 401k is getting vaporized by entropy and Medicare fraud. OWNB is the play because it sits right at the fault line, where equity valuation meets monetary collapse. It's the only product that says we're going to hell, but we're gonna ride there on a high-yield convertible with Bitcoin in the trunk and a CFO doing tequila shots in the back seat. All right, let's pop the hood on this beast because OWNB isn't just another ETF cobbled by interns and vibes. This thing is built like a monetary kill vehicle. Precision engineered, data weighted, and capitalist vengeance in gigabeast form. Let's start with the universe. Public companies with greater than 1,000 Bitcoin on the books. Not influencers, not Reddit IPOs, actual firms with enough BTC to make Janet Yellen faint. Then we apply some filters because we're not buying your cousin's OTC mining scam from Saskatchewan. We want market cap greater than 250 million, average daily volume greater than 500K, a greater than 10% float. In other words, real companies, real liquidity, not a paper-mache DeFi shell with a Discord mod as the CFO. Now the magic is tiering. Tier 1 BTC greater than 33% of their assets weighted by actual BTC stack. Tier 2 less than 33%, fixed 1.5% each, capped at 20% of the index. That means Bitcoin native monsters like Strategy and Metaplanet get the size they deserve, while Tesla and Block get invited to the party but don't hog the cocaine. Then there's the diversification caps, no single name over 20%, number 2 max 12%, total of names greater than 5% must stay under 45%. That's called RIC compliance, baby, because we play by the rules just long enough to detonate them. And finally, quarterly rebalances, March, June, September, and December. So when the next biotech firm YOLOs their treasury into Bitcoin during a quarterly earnings panic, OWNB will catch it on the next run like a goddamn quant ninja with a 10K fetish. This index is cleaner than BlackRock's money laundering division and twice as efficient. It's not built on vibes, it's built on truth, conviction, and a deep hatred of inflation-adjusted nonsense. Let's keep going before my blood pressure explodes. Let's look at the current snapshot of OWNB as of June 2025, and let me be clear, what you're seeing here isn't a portfolio, it's the watch list of the future ruling class. These are the companies that saw through the fiat hallucination and thought, yeah, we'll take the volatility because we're not trying to die poor. We've got 24 holdings, $19.9 million in assets under management, still early, still under the radar. Expense ratio of 0.85% because alpha's not free. Top holdings, strategy 21.5%. That's right, Michael Saylor's cult is the anchor tenant. The man literally turned a software company into a Bitcoin black hole. He is my hero. I love strategy. I mean, how can you not? Metaplanet 14.7%, a Japanese firm so aggressive they make Mt. Gox look like a savings account. Riot Platforms 9.9%, Marathon Digital 9.6%, and Hut 8.5%. Together, those 5 names hold over 60% of the BTC in the index, but only 45% of the market cap. Translation, you're paying equity prices for Bitcoin torque on discount. This thing isn't just beta, it's weaponized monetary policy rejection. And I know some clown out there is thinking, but $19 million assets under management, that's small. Yeah, it's small. So was Bitcoin in 2011, and now it's eating sovereign currencies for breakfast. Do you want to be early, or do you want to be last in line behind BlackRock shell funds and a pension fund from Ohio that still thinks gold is modern? OWNB is the front row seat to the corporate's capitulation wave. Buy now or watch your accountant explain to you in 5 years why you missed the best capital allocation event since Rockefeller invented vertical integration. Now let's compare OWNB to the so-called alternatives, which frankly are like choosing between a loaded diaper and a toaster in a bathtub. Let's break it down. Option 1, buy individual miners. Sure, let's YOLO into one company that burns cash faster than a Vegas divorce. You want halving risk, dilution roulette, and CEOs who are sweating while issuing 14 million shares per quarter? Be my guest. OWNB neutralizes all that garbage. It's a basket. It absorbs the body blows while letting you ride the upside when one of them miraculously discovers profitability. Option 2, just buy MSTR. Yes, the cult stock. We love Saylor. But you want to put 100% of your capital into one man's divine vision of fiat obliteration? Be my guest. OWNB caps him at around 20% max, which means if he ascends to the astral plane, your whole portfolio doesn't go with him. Option 3, buy spot Bitcoin. Cool, you've got the asset, but where's the yield, the buybacks, the layer 2 equity monetization? Bitcoin's the base layer. OWNB is the call option on institutional adoption. Option 4, Bitcoin ETFs. You want derivative exposure with roll costs, counterparty risks, and a structure that's basically a gold ETF with an inferiority complex. Go ahead, chase the BlackRock bag. Just know Larry Fink is clipping 75 basis points to feed his house in the Hamptons while you're locked out of the treasury game. OWNB is none of that. It's equity, it's Bitcoin, it's a hedge against clown world's monetary policy, packaged inside a rules-based structure that doesn't lie to you. It's capitalism's final form before we all descend into Mad Max, bartering jugs of peanut oil for insulin. So yeah, you could do it by yourself, or you could just own OWNB and spend the rest of your life doing literally anything else, watching Cosby Show reruns while getting a foot rub from a Vietnamese masseuse. All right, let's start talking about how to actually use OWNB in your portfolio, because this isn't just something you YOLO into between Monster Energy breaks and checking the Dogecoin price. This is a strategic weapon. Use it wisely. First move, OWNB as a satellite to your BTC core. You hold spot Bitcoin, great, that's the foundation, but guess what? Bitcoin doesn't issue dividends, it doesn't buy back shares, it doesn't release earnings that make TradFi analysts squirm in their seats. OWNB gives you the upside of companies that are actively monetizing their BTC stacks, turning sound money into cash flow, while their competitors hoard dollars like it's 2008 again. Second move, drop OWNB into your global equity sleeve. These are real public companies, NASDAQ, Tokyo Stock Exchange, Toronto, you name it. So it fits neatly into your diversified international equities category. Until, of course, Bitcoin rips to to 500K, and this little ETF detonates like a tactical nuke in your portfolio tracker. The third move, institutions can actually own this. OWNB clears through DTCC. Translation, your pension fund, your hedge fund, your conservative wealth manager who still wears suspenders like it's 1986, they can buy this thing without needing a hardware wallet or a blood oath to a crypto custodian. It's compliant and it's scalable. OWNB is a liquidity Trojan horse for hyperbitcoinization. You slide it under the radar and suddenly your retirement portfolio is short fiat, long civilization. It's like buying into the early S&P 500, but this time the index hates money printing and wants to burn down the central banks. That's how you use it. Now let's talk risk before I get subpoenaed. Remember, this is not financial advice. Do I have to say that again? Do not ask me for an allocation percentage. I'm just reporting the news to you kids. Education is my mission. Now let's address the risks because yes, even though OWNB is the financial equivalent of a sniper rifle aimed at fiat's skull, it's still the public markets, and public markets are filled with cowards, kleptocrats, and the ghosts of the Lehman Brothers. Risk number one, Bitcoin drawdowns. When Bitcoin takes a nosedive, these companies don't just bleed, they file impairment charges like they're printing coupons. So their balance sheets look like war crime photos while they secretly 4x their stack. OWNB captures the volatility, and that's the price of the asymmetric upside. You want stability? Go buy T-bills, even though that's not stable, but it is to the regular folk out there, if you know what I mean. Risk number two, regulatory overhang. You think politicians are going to let mining operate without drama? These people hold press conferences about TikTok and think AI lives in the cloud. They're going to try to ban Bitcoin by taxing it, regulating it, and holding Senate hearings where Elizabeth Warren confuses hash rate with fentanyl. OWNB is exposed to miners, exchanges, and multinationals who hold Bitcoin, and that means you're exposed to global policy schizophrenia. Good, that's how you get alpha. Risk number three, low asset under management, still under $20 million. This is not SPY, it's not QQQ, it's not going to absorb your $5 million limit order without a few slippage scars. So yeah, institutions need to size this thing with care or else they're going to break the liquidity like a boomer trying to buy Dogecoin on Robinhood. Risk number four, quarterly rebalance lag. Let's say a company goes nuclear and YOLOs into 8,000 BTC overnight. OWNB won't reflect it until the next rebalance. That's the nature of index tracking. But it also means you're constantly positioned for the next orange pill event. So yeah, it's volatile, it's exposed, it's imperfect, but that's the point. OWNB is early. It's the tip of the spear, not the back of the Vanguard bus. And if that makes you nervous, good. Great trades are supposed to make you sweat. If you remember nothing else, remember this. OWNB is not just an ETF. It's not a product. It's not a diversified play on Bitcoin exposure. It is the index of the end times for fiat capital allocation. This fund has a front row seat to the corporate reckoning because every quarter, tick, 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 more companies fold, more CFOs break, more balance sheets look at 6% inflation and whisper, F it, put it into Bitcoin, we'll figure out the rest later. OWNB captures that entire dynamic in real time with cold, calculated elegance. You're not buying stocks, you're buying a portfolio of CEOs who looked at the Fed's balance sheet and chose violence. These are the survivors, the adaptive class. They're playing 4D capital chess while everyone else is hoarding mutual funds like their Pokemon cards. OWNB is the scalpel, the black mirror, the compliance-wrapped exposure to monetary insurgency. It's what happens when Wall Street tries to tame Bitcoin and Bitcoin bites its effing hand off. So what do? You buy it, you hold it, you tell your accountant it's a diversified macro play, and you smile knowing you just front-ran an entire generation of institutional regret. Because in 5 years, OWNB isn't going to be fringe, it's going to be the most envied index in the capital markets. And every talking head on CNBC is going to act like they knew all along. But you'll know better. You were there before the deluge, before the capitulation, before the suits begged for allocations. OWNB is how you own the endgame. Thank you, I'm going to go scream into a volcano. My name is Adam Livingston. If you enjoyed this presentation, please repost this on X, like the video on YouTube, and subscribe to my channel. And leave a comment on what you'd like to hear next. I love you all. Class dismissed.